Life. What is life? Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Life is what we're going to talk about today. Yes, it's another term in the Buddhism reference book that is currently available as an ebook on threefoldlotus.com. There may be some revisions coming to it as we go through the print version, which will be available soon on Lulu. But we're going through it with a fine-tooth comb. And there are still suggestions for additions from you guys, and I'm paying attention to all of them. So, yeah, let me know if you bought an early edition in 3-6 months from now. And I don't know that it'll change all that much. It really shouldn't. But there may be some surprises in there, and I don't want you guys to feel left out. If you've already purchased one, email me, show me that, or I don't know how you'd show me, but anyway, let me know that you bought an early copy and you'd like it revised, and I'll send you a new PDF, right? Although at the moment, Lulu is providing all of these ebooks through threefoldlotus.com, again, the ebooks page, as an ebook, which is fabulous because you have the table of contents on the left all throughout the book, so you can jump around really easily. It's a wonderful format. But at any rate, I'll update you with whatever I can. The print book, of course, will be final until maybe 5 years from now. I have to revise it a little bit. That's just the nature of information and the way we understand it, yeah? But I'm taking more care when I publish now than I used to 10 years ago to finalize as best I can everything that I write. I'm not a professional writer, so if you have listened to these videos, you see the way I speak, and my writing doesn't deviate a whole lot from the way my brain works and the way I speak. So if you can handle my video conversations, my podcasts, then the books will read just fine for you. Okay, enough disclaimers. Life. What the hell is life? Life is thanking you for being here, thanking you for your practice, yeah? If you look it up online, it's a really, and you'll know this just from experience, most people, when they talk about life, see it in two different ways. They either talk about life as a very egocentric thing, like human beings are the only thing that is life, or lifetime, or life being our experience. Again, very self-centered, egocentric, but people don't think about that when they say it or converse about life, right? Or life in a socioeconomic way. More broadly, people that are interested in nature shows or go hiking and so forth, they'll sometimes speak about life, and without identifying the difference, they'll just very comfortably move from the egocentric to the, life, like butterflies and fauna, and, the world is full of life. But that's about the extent of the natural, quote-unquote, sciences, yeah? Because if you listen to any cosmology or astronomy or anyone talking about the broader universe outside Earth, oh, there is no life. Or wouldn't it be fun if we found life somewhere else? What in the hell do those people think the universe is? Death? Life is the entirety of the universe, my friends. We are a form of life, a pretty special and unique form of life, sure. Get as self-obsessed as you want about that. But don't divorce yourself from a life in its entirety. So online, this word is a noun. You understand a noun? Person, place, or thing. Well, that includes the universe. What's the universe if not a thing or a place? But as Buddhists, we know that nothing is static. We know that everything is in constant momentum, changing every single moment to moment to moment to moment to moment, right? So how is that a noun? See, this is the first place in our samsaric mind that we identify things as permanent. Even though it doesn't take much digging to understand that nothing is permanent. That word should barely exist. Yeah. Life is a verb, right? We are being. If we weren't being, living verbs, there would be nothing to talk about. We'd all be rocks. So, first association. Life is a conjugate of being, living, and the cycle of birth and death. That's what life is. Life is the formations. What are the formations? Karma. Life is karma. No formations, no life. Life is momentum. Never static, never stands still, right? That's how we understand life. Everyone should understand it that way, but as Buddhists, certainly, as this reference book is for, in fact, when we read the definitions of the word life, quote unquote, we find every definition outlines actions. What is up? The English language is full of words like this. For instance, is, quote unquote, is a conjugate of to be. And being. Understanding life as a verb, an action, it becomes much easier to see that it is not a possession, but an opportunity to be experienced. To be within and to participate in an ongoing process. This is Buddhism 101. Life is a process, ongoing, and as we already know, much too fleeting. Right? See death in this book. This is very much Siddhartha's enlightenment. As Shakyamuni, he taught us to revere the life we are living as a dynamic and constantly refreshed birth, quote unquote, of moments. No. To free ourselves from the baggage of the past, attachments and clinging, in order to experience all life anew in every precious moment. Yeah. It's obvious when you read it, when you write it down, when you think about it, but hard to inculcate, love that word, into our moment-to-moment thinking. Yes? Because our thinkings are not what we think they are. We think our thoughts are the primary thing that drives us, right? I think, therefore I am. What Descartes never asked himself is, how do you think? How is that thought occurring? It's by no means primary. It's actually the result of a lot of other stuff. Right? Look at epistemology in this book. You'll see. Right? The data, the information we've collected over moments, our warehouse of data, our karmic freight train, all coloring, impinging, filtering, excluding, including, all these little tiny, it's innumerable. the information, quote unquote, that we've turned this data into that influences constantly our minds sifting through to come up with a resulting thought, which the moment we're thinking is busy modifying itself. Also a process. So, are you the result of your thinking, as Descartes would indicate? Or is your thinking a result of your being? And while this is all going on in your mind, life, so that kind of dwarfs you a little bit, doesn't it? Don't be intimidated by that. It just means that your mind's eye, which is focused on your freight train of karma, is not you. Rather, it's a vantage point to see the totality of what you are engaged in. Life. Yeah? Again, I say, immense to consider what your vantage point is and how involved and engaged you are in it, rather than perceiving yourself as, I am this and all of that is not this, that otherness, that separation. Yeah, we talk about this in self and environment, right? In Buddhism, we can all repeat the rhetoric, right? There is no separation between self and environment. Oh, that sounds good, I'm Buddhist. Do we really understand what we're saying, though? Because the way we relate to the world is as self and other. And that's the beginning of our samsaric engagement with the world out there. Like, stop moving your hands, Sylvain. Yeah? Really, really consider that you as a vantage point are, right? Think of, have you ever been hiking or anywhere where you could look around and be not necessarily awestruck, but appreciate definitely your surroundings? Now, what if mentally, because Buddhism's about the mind, you could see, you could experience, you could visualize everything you see, the trees, the grass, the water, the birds, the dogs, the moving through you and you through them without losing your precious identity, but interpenetrated. When you smell the rain or breathe in the forest or the water, your sense organs are giving you a clue that you're not altogether separate, that you can smell, taste, hear, see your environment. If your environment was truly separate from you, you'd have to do something special, go through some kind of door to see it, experience it, but you don't. You're in it. Life is like this. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people might say, well, Sylvain, my dog isn't me, and I'm certainly not my dog. Okay, congratulations. Woo-woo. You've identified physical instantiations. Yes, Buddhists aren't crazy. We know that. But if you think more deeply, if you think more about the structures of that physical, quote unquote, reality, and forgive me if I say quote unquote too much, but I keep thinking in the back of my mind, some people are listening to podcasts and they won't see my air quotes. But the very things, the very physicality that creates your skin and your dog's skin, your hair and your dog's hair, fur, tongue, mouth, I start to see that for all the differences, there are a tremendous amount of similarities. And so Buddhism is about the mind. Consider that your pet parakeet or your fish or your dog or your lover or your sister or your friends, right? They're not so separate. They're separate physical entities because they have their own minds. But truly, at the fundament, there's not a great deal that separates us. Truly. Certainly, if we could, and this is the point in Buddhism, if you could shift your mind to consider everyone, well, let's just talk people. Everyone else are in your me-verse. New term. As an extension of yourself and you, an extension of themselves, really interconnected. Picturing in your mind, if you could, like an appendage that is this other. How would you behave differently? Consider that for a moment. I was thinking about this morning, and I thought, we endeavor to manipulate our environment all the time, whether it's training the dog not to bark, training our lovers to treat us in particular ways and avoid treating us in others, or sisters or brothers, or any kind of relationship, right? It's all about boundaries and how we establish them and what we permit and what we don't permit. And it's a back and forth. But can you recognize in that negotiation of relationships that our ego, our self, is imposing parameters on another, kind of like we're manipulating. What do we know about manipulation? Whether it's kind or angry or whatever, when you bark at somebody, what are you really doing? Isn't that the world of anger? It is. And that's a lower world. So as we raise our life condition toward Buddha-ness, shouldn't our behavior be less and less about separateness? Could we treat, and here's the point, could we treat our dogs, our lovers, our parents, our siblings, our relationships as though we were looking in a mirror, addressing ourselves? And I know sometimes we're hard on ourselves, and yeah, that happens. But it's the same device, right? Instead of being violent with thoughts, words, deeds towards someone else, not conforming, if we saw them as an extension, an appendage, a presence like a mirror of ourselves, how might we communicate differently? How might we think differently about them? Might we, just for instance, consider where they're coming from, what their motivations are. Remember when Shakyamuni wrote about treating everyone as if they were their only child? Isn't that what Shakyamuni was talking about? Could you develop a mindset about other people that would see them, experience them, be with them as though they were their precious only child? Would you yell at them the same way? Because that's where I have a problem with that analogy, because we still could be low life, yelling at our children, right? We hear about it in the news all the time, what parents do to their children. It's very ugly. But the point Shakyamuni was trying to illustrate was the preciousness, the sameness, not the togetherness, the actual interdependencies, right? Like dependent origination, how we come about. Could you treat everyone you meet as though they were that precious extension, connection, part of yourself, your very life? You see why life as a concept of everything plays into the whole understanding of Buddhism, doesn't it? This is when you're moving toward that wonderful word equanimity. It's not that you're a solipsistic, calm individual. It's that you're developing a uniformity of life with everything in life. Right? That quells that idea in the mind, in the samsaric mind, of separateness, competition, right? Comparison, discrimination, all of it is because of this fallacy that we are autonomous, unique units of life. So getting your mind around life as you're just a vantage point within the seas of life is a beginning toward compassion, right? If your friend is going astray, understand that that's like your right arm just doing whatever it wants. It's like, stop that. Come into the fold. Don't do as I say. Do for yourself. Together, we establish something, a unanimous flow, and appreciate the differences, because as an extension of yourself, they're an additional capability, an additional experience. How wonderful, right? Difference doesn't end. You are not your dog. Your dog is not you. Yep, got it. That's not the point. Buddhism is about the mind. How do you consider your dog, your boyfriend, your mother, the associates at work? How do you consider living as one organism with innumerable facets? How do you do that? Because that's life. Okay. I think I talked this one into... Think about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. In the meantime, you guys are awesome. Take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps grow the Sangha. It's a little bodhisattva effort that means a lot. If they're helpful, please get ebooks. Many of you have recently, and it's pumping up the coffers, so I'm looking forward to better video capture and editing. We're doing okay. But we can always improve, right? Anyway, it's not like I have a staff of editors. It's just me. And I'm doing everything I can. If you can point out something that would be of value to help me distribute and grow this resource as I am, to solidify our practice, to give us confidence. That's what this is for. The website, the books, these videos, the podcasts, the mandala. I'm a supply store. And I share my experiences and insights for whatever value they can create and help you create your own insights. That's what bolsters your practice. All of us are this way, right? So thanks for participating. Take care of your health. Be kind to yourself because it means you'll be kind to others. See? Life. All right. Enough blah, blah, blah. I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye for now.